Good morning. It's Tuesday morning. Are you ready for it to become tremendous for you? Because last night we had a great webinar and we talked about manifesting what you want. You know, the last several days, the last week, we talked a lot about building desire. We talked about finding out what you wanted to accomplish and being in your journal. Last night, Phil presented a tool called the TAO, T-A-O. And, you know, it's thought, actions, outcome. Now, I would admit to you, the concept of manifestation might be unusual to some people. It might be new, and it might seem a little weird. But isn't it great that you have an awesome tool to use in your journaling that helps you to be successful? Did you hear the ocean roaring in back of me today? It's sort of rough. You know, I'm down here. I chose this spot on the beach to come to because this is Ormond Beach. This is called the birthplace of speed. This is where they used to run land speed records with the Bluebird and the Green Monster motorcycle races before they moved into the flats out, the salt flats out in Utah. If we go about 20 miles back this way behind me, we would be where the birthplace of NASCAR was. It's all about speed. And we all want speed, and we all want to accomplish the best things that we can accomplish the best way. So I have a couple thoughts for you this morning that ran through me last night as Phil did his presentation. It's summed up in 4 words, actually 3 words, an acronym. Belief, commitment, persistence, and the acronym M.A.G.I.C. Now I'll tell you about M.A.G.I.C at the end, because M.A.G.I.C is an acronym that I used to use as speaking to children in the high schools and junior highs who wanted to be motivated to succeed. So I'm here at the beach. Imagine I was going to come to the beach and I was going to come to have some fun, and I come with a teaspoon and I started to try and build a sandcastle. The kids would laugh at me because if I'm going to go to the beach, I better bring a sand pail and a shovel, right? If I'm going to build something or I'm going to have fun down there, I'm going to take the kids down there, they're going to laugh at you. So we want to take big bites. We want the most efficient tool to be successful. And it does take, number one, knowing what you want, because you have to create that future memory. And you also have to fuel that desire by understanding where you are today in that circle of discontent. And to say, I'm not happy here. I want to step out of this and I want to become improved. And the stronger you fuel that desire, the better it's going to come. So, belief. You got to believe that you can do this. We doubt ourselves constantly. And we talk probably to nausea, and probably we'll talk more about belief. But that belief has to be driven by your commitment and your persistence. Think about this. As Phil did his presentation, 2 sporting events came to my mind. Number one is Muhammad Ali against George Foreman. Muhammad Ali fought George Foreman, I think in Zaire, Africa. He's older, he's smaller, and he goes in with a game plan that says, I'm going to lay on the ropes and let this big guy beat on me until he can't beat on me anymore. I don't know how many of you are boxing fans, but it's one of the most startling upsets in the history of boxing. Because the rope-a-dope, as we now know it, he sat on the ropes for 7 rounds and let Foreman bang away on him until Foreman could barely lift his arms. And then he came off the ropes and started to punch and jab and hook and knocked out George Foreman, something no one thought was possible. Well, he had a plan. I don't know if today we'd look back on that and call it a good plan to have someone that big beat on you. And it might have sounded like a good plan when you were walking to the ring, but like Mike Tyson used to say, everybody has a plan until you get hit. So think of the commitment that Muhammad Ali had to that plan, that he would stay in there and let this big guy, it had to hurt. I remember Sylvester Stallone talking one time that for one of the Rocky movies, he wanted to have a real fighter in the ring with him, so he brought in Ernie Shavers. And Ernie Shavers punched him in the arm, and his back teeth rattled, and he said, "This is not a good idea," and cut the scene right then. So we talk about this, having a plan, believing in that plan, and having a commitment to see it through in the persistence. The final thing is my term magic. Ironically, maybe boxing is a good paradigm to think about. Because this certainly will be a battle as we go through it. Because you know what? We're trying new things. And we always seem to be very slow to that. There's a belief that has to be put together. On my schedule today, number one on it is to go redo my tension chart using the Tasso tool. Why? Because I want magic. And I have to have the belief. So I go to another fight. Evander Holyfield is fighting Mike Tyson, who seems absolutely unbelievably unbeatable, right? Mike Tyson has beaten everybody, knocked him out. Here comes the elder statesman, Evander Holyfield, into the ring. He believes he's conditioned himself and he's done the things he needed to do. And he did the most ridiculous thing. He stood up during the fight in the ring. He never sat down because he believed that he was going to win that fight. And he executed his plan. And he probably used some tools and some philosophy that people didn't think would work. So, my closing statement for you, for magic, as I used to tell the kids, and it may seem sort of corny because we're adults, but magic. Make a giant individual commitment to this game plan. If you're not willing to try to risk the unusual, which this probably seems for a lot of you, then you will always have to settle for the ordinary. And we didn't call this program 55 days to being the best ordinary you can be. It's 55 days to being the best you can be. So I hope today you get to listen to other coaches. I'm sure we're all going to be talking about this topic and our own perspectives on it. It's a rebirth for us. It's a new tool for us. And we've got 28 days to go through, 4 weeks, to discover just the greatness we have within us. God bless you all. Have a tremendous Tuesday. Start your process. Move down the road of your own greatness. Bye-bye.